Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is your general read for the month of August. It is general. It's not going to resonate with everyone, and that is okay. If it doesn't resonate with you fully, feel free to check out your other signs. But also, even if it does resonate, I still urge you to check out your other signs so that you can possibly get a broader picture and maybe connect some more details. All right, time is an illusion. So yes, we're dating this for August because we've got to put something on it. Could definitely be before, could definitely be after. Energy is fluid, meaning I will read from the perspective of Cancer, but because energy is fluid, you may feel the need to switch the roles. It may be from a different perspective, maybe not necessarily you, but someone that you're dealing with. So feel free to do that if you feel so inclined. All right, I hope these messages find everyone in good health and good wealth and good spirits. And remember that the reason we read tarot is so that we can look at energy timelines and possible outcomes if that timeline is followed in the same way. So if there's something that we don't like, when we see it, we are conscious, aware, and vigilant in order to change those possible outcomes. And if it's something that we like, then we can focus more so as to help that manifest sooner. All right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So the focus here is possibly not putting any commitment somewhere, or maybe not being as active as you'd like to be. And also the King of Wands in the reverse position can often be an energy that's stretched too thin. So you may have too much on your plate at the time, but it looks like there's something stagnant or stuck. Okay, so sometimes whenever you have too much on your plate, there's not enough hours in the day and you're unable to get, you know, whatever you need to get done. We'll see. Let's see what the challenge is here. Ace of Wands, starting over and starting new. So there's procrastination here when it comes to starting things new, starting a new adventure, taking a leap of faith. So it is, there's procrastination when it comes to committing to something or starting new. It looks like there's been I'm hearing harsh ending, and I don't know, I don't know, I want to write something. I feel like this has to do with a particular person, and I say that because I feel like I'm writing a name. Anyways, I feel like I've come to a situation that brought about a harsh ending that wasn't necessarily ready for, and now we're having trouble committing to anything or going forward in a new way. In the past, there was some, you know, responsibilities that weren't met, or again, because I'm hearing harsh ending, this could be something that was out of your control, something that you weren't necessarily responsible for, or you weren't going to be able to do anything to stop. It's just sort of one of those things that happens, or it, you know, at least it did. We are going to go through and clarify, but let's get some more cards out here. So there is a goal to be honest and balance and confront something. Now, I will say legal matters have been coming through for quite a few signs. Cancer, this does come through as confronting legal matters and legal issues. Not necessarily like you're going through the courts, but there is something, it does appear to me in the way that they're showing me, not in the cards, to be documentation of some sort. So there is something that needs to be wrapped up or pushed forward as far as documentation, and this will, unfortunately, for most of you, require a lawyer. And for others of you, it's just truth and balance and confronting that. So you may have many people in your sphere, or at least one important person. It's coming through as many, so it's either like somebody who has a lot of influence in your life or is very important to you, or it's like a whole group of people, or possibly a job or something like that. That doesn't appear to be telling the whole truth, or there's something off maybe about the fairness. So there could be some sort of discrimination or like singling out going on here, and that does need to be confronted. Otherwise, it's just going to explode at some point. We see with that Five of Wands. Okay, and now again, the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So we can see that this is out of balance. So again, this could have to do with finances for some of you. I feel like it does. Finances and property for some of you, yeah. And others of you, it's just like I said, it's a singling out. It's an unfair situation that does need to be confronted. Okay. I feel, again, though, like somebody feels like this is out of their control. Also, I'm feeling somebody feels really singled out, like other people. If this is resonating in the workplace, this is very much like, I have all these responsibilities and this person has none of these responsibilities, and they don't get in trouble. And this could even be somebody like you know, putting their job off on you and getting paid more or getting paid the same or whatever the case, never being reprimanded. This could be a situation where you just feel like you're always singled out. You know, maybe all three of you get back from lunch late, but you're the only one that gets the write-up. It's sort of that situation for if this is resonating in the workplace. It is an unfair situation, and if you are wanting to push it, you definitely have legal grounds to stand on. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you the energy of the reading. All right. In the overall immediate outcome, you've got the Magician in the reverse position, telling me that this doesn't manifest necessarily in the way that you would like it, and also it could be because you can't do anything about it at this time. Sometimes we have to do things even when we know they're wrong because we have to make ends meet, or it's just the way it is and we don't necessarily have the means to fight it at the time. So this may be something that you have to deal with because it's what you have to do at the time to get things done. Also, there is a certain level of manipulation that's happening here that, again, it feels like you can't do anything about. Now, if this is resonating on a personal level, like as in a relationship, it could be that there's been a recent breakup or separation of some sort that you feel like you had no control over, or you feel like you have no control over, and you just, for whatever reason, you cannot move on. And there does seem to be manipulation in that area. We will clarify, or not manifesting something new for yourself, and again, staying stagnant. Now, the advice is to take a break before you act. You've got the Four of Swords, so there does need to be some recuperation here. There needs to be a new way of looking at it. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's like you can't see the forest for the trees. You know, sometimes you can be right in the middle of something, so much so that you can't see the situation as a whole, and you can't see what's right in front of you and or what's going on around you. Does look to be a situation similar to that here, so there does need to be a step back and a you know, a recuperation. I'm hearing restoration as well. Okay, outside influences is the Three of Pentacles in the reverse position. Again, we have, it's like the world's working against you again. So if it's a relationship, no responsibility, couldn't do anything with it, and it's like nothing is in your favor, it's going to be the same in a work relationship. It's like the whole, like everybody's against you. You have no really like voice to speak or legs to stand on. And then with property and things like that, again, it's like you just can't get anybody to give you just a little bit of leeway or show you any favor to get you to the next step. And I am seeing this is like step one or maybe even step three of several to come. And I feel very stagnant because I can't get beyond this step. And not only can I not get beyond it, but I feel like every turn I'm being shut down. And I do feel a little bit burnt out here. So with that being said, there may need to be some manipulation in order to get to that next step. I'm not telling you to lie and steal. I'm telling you sometimes we got to do what we got to do to get to the next step because the world is shitty. Moving on. You got the King of Swords in the hopes and fears. So you are hoping that somebody logically and fairly decides on whatever this is. You're hoping to meet somebody like eye to eye, have somebody hear your side and see it, you know, through in a, I would say, understanding and logical way. You're hoping that the communication goes through. In the overall long-term outcome, you've got the Page of Wands. So all of that being said, it does look a little bit promising because you do have messages and documents that go through, and you also have a higher potential being met. So don't give up, because you are stuck currently and probably have a lot on your plate, especially with this King of Wands in the reverse position coming out. But you do, however, make some progress and reach a higher level of potential. Okay, it's not over yet. We have the Death card in the reverse with the Devil in the reverse also, as well as the Empress in the upright with the underlying cards. So what we're seeing here is a level of toxicity being removed where the situation doesn't have to end. I'm so sorry about the background noise, y'all. So the situation doesn't necessarily have to end, especially once the toxicity and the obstacles are removed, and they will be as long as you're diligent, and I think that you will be. I feel like the worst case scenario is you just being absolutely burnt out and emotionally drained and just saying, forget it, I just don't have the energy to put into it anymore. But if that doesn't happen and you continue to go forward, I show a lot of rewards coming your way, and I show this being very successful. You also have abundance coming your way, where eventually, once certain things get taken care of, paid off, or whatever the situation is, talked out, whatever it is, you are able to just sit back in this Empress energy and allow everything to come to you in the way that it likely should have in the beginning. It just, for whatever reason, look, things happen. Excuse me. And oftentimes, as we can see here, it looks to be out of your control. Now, another situation and scenario for some of you is it wasn't necessarily out of your control, but there was a time and a point where it was too much for you to handle. However, it got to that point. We don't judge here. We just read energy. It was a situation like, you know what, I can't handle this. And you put it all down. And there were some responsibilities that were lacking, right? So when you knew you should have had it done 2 weeks ago and you kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and now you're 4 weeks past the deadline, and you know, it just because you couldn't handle it or you didn't want to, you just didn't want to mess with it. So there was a situation in the past for some of you, not all of you, where it was just too much to handle, whatever the situation was, and you let some things lapse and you didn't take care of responsibilities when they should have been, and so here we are. But that's okay, because again, as long as you get back on the grind, everything does move along. Now, you do have a lot working against you, not gonna lie. You have a lot working against you, especially when it comes to finances, tangible things, and anything, any support like from other people. So, you know, banks, payment arrangements, lawyers, just the legal system overall, family, friends, support systems, anything like that. So there's a lot not wanting to work with you, not wanting to collaborate with you. Now, that being said, for some of you, this is a situation that's come to pass. However we got to this doesn't really matter, because here's where we are. And this is the first time, maybe ever, or the first time in a long time that you've had to do things on your own, because it's it's another very real energy that I'm looking at here and here. And so that's why this 3 of Pentacles is coming in the reverse position. It isn't because necessarily that you have a bunch against you, but more so because you don't have people helping you to build up this empire, and it has been lacking in some areas. Okay, you might have bitten off more that you can chew, possibly in a relationship, or maybe in a home, maybe in a job, maybe in a position that you took thinking you could handle it, and other things happen, life happens, and you thought you were going to have help or people to depend on, possibly a spouse, 2 incomes, 3 incomes, whatever it is, and something got taken away very quickly, and now you're having to reassess and hold it all down in a way that you didn't expect, because now it's all on you. So for some of you, this is not necessarily the world against you. It's just the first time that the first time ever, or the first time in a long time, that you don't have anybody helping you to work on and build up this particular situation, whatever it is. I'm told 2 more shuffles, and then we're going to clarify. So we get the 6 of Pentacles, generosity, and the Sun, happiness. Okay, so when it comes to this, the goal with the legal or the balance and the confrontation, look, this is you basically being forthcoming and just saying, look, I can't do that anymore. I need this from you if I'm going to give this to you. It's creating a wedge between me and my happiness, right? So it does look like for you, Cancer, that there was a situation, or maybe even many situations, perhaps it's the way you designed your life unknowingly, and that does happen, where you put yourself in a situation or several situations where you were constantly giving and not receiving, or the opposite, you were constantly getting and not giving. And there seems to be a situation or several even conversations, honest conversations that are had at this point, or at least are being considered to be had, where it's like, this isn't gonna work out anymore. There's definitely a confrontation, and remember, confrontation is not always bad. But there does seem to be a situation that's being confronted that's like, hey, you know, I give this, I expect to get this, or I can't give this anymore because I'm not getting this out of it, and it's starting to depress me. It's not balanced, it's not equal, and quite frankly, someone here feels lied to, betrayed, or put on the back burner. And again, that's a situation that I feel like is coming to a head, and it will be confronted. At least that seems to be the goal. All right, when you've got the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse position, we've got the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So this is a very sensitive matter, okay? So yeah, and I could see how it would be, because whether it's in the workplace and you're being targeted out, of course it's going to be sensitive. That sucks, right? Or if we're in a situation that was a lover that, you know, recently departed from you or separated from you or filed for divorce or just doesn't, you know, whatever the case, that's going to be a sensitive situation. And if this is dealing with kids, or family or friends that you're having to like put your foot down and set clear boundaries because you're not getting what you need and or want from the situations or relationships, again, it's going to be sensitive. And the thing is, it's like, it's not that I don't love you, it's not that I'm not sensitive to the situation, but there's a very real imbalance here, and we need to sort of look at our other options because this isn't working out. And it does feel very off and on. It doesn't feel stable, and in not feeling stable, it doesn't feel sustainable. I can tell you this, Cancer, from this reading, no matter how it's resonating with you, if it's resonating with you, someone is definitely getting their feelings hurt. Whether that's intentional or not, the outcome is still the same. Somebody is getting their feelings hurt. And so we can see here, yeah, it's a sensitive situation and there's a lot of love involved. The problem I see is that someone doesn't feel like they get the love that they give, and the other people don't understand how, because they're giving you all the love that they have. So it's like, this could be just as simple as not understanding another person's love language. Not understanding or not being considerate, and it remains to be seen. So we're doing this 10 of Wands now. Well, we've got the King of Cups. Like I just said, not being understanding. Okay, now I do see, falling out over that 10 of Wands, that there is a situation here that whatever this is, whether you had no control over this thing changing or being taken from you, or you just got burnt out and you were like, screw it, it's going to be there when I get back. I don't care. I don't care if it's late. I don't care if I get penalized. I don't care. I don't care if it falls through. I don't care if it gets repossessed. Whatever the situation is, right? I just can't. I just can't right now. I literally can't. In this space, there is an understanding. At least there's a lot of like, I feel like I'm racking my brain to the point where I just can't anymore. It's sort of, it very much vibes with me like I'm just gonna have to understand that I may never understand. That's what I'm getting from that. It's a level of acceptance for sure. With the 9 of Wands and defensiveness, okay? So this is a defense mechanism, 100%. Like, whatever has happened here, it comes to a point where someone decides that they're not going to allow it to cost them their sanity and the years they have left. Look, no one's ever promised the next 5 seconds. So the more we dwell and try to change things that we have no control over, we're really doing nothing but just putting ourselves in these weird binds and emotional states of anxiety, depression, and who knows what else. But the situation here is like, it's a defense mechanism no matter how you slice it. Either complete acceptance and understanding that I may never understand, or placing a wall and saying, that's it, you can't pass this wall, you've hurt me too many times, or I have to let you go. You just, whatever it is, there is some sort of a realization and an acceptance that takes place here in the past over a situation that feels like you can't control it, in order to defend yourself and your well-being, at least on some level, to be able to even dust yourself off and get back up and get to some state of normalcy and even like a functionability again. I feel like someone's recently getting back out there, maybe not in the best way, but they're we're all doing the best we can with what we got. Strength here and stability again. So like I said, this is to clarify the King of Wands in reverse position with the Ace of Wands. Somebody just simply wasn't ready for this change, and so you're strong enough to make it. It's just not how you thought it would be. And that's just basically, that's what it is. That's what it is. And also there's a situation, or let's say like a time in space where I feel like, Cancer, you fully understood you needed to kind of back up and sit down, metaphorically, so to speak, to gather your strength for what's to come. Let's look at this, the Magician, Queen of Wands. I want to get one more here. with the, it's the Temperance, the Angel of the Ocean, but it's related to the Temperance, the healing card. For the short-term outcome, it feels like you reunite with things that may not necessarily be the best for you, but it's the support system that you have for now that gets you through to the next day, right? So a lot of us have toxic friends. We know that. We know that we all know toxic people, that they may be the fun one to be around for a night or two, but any length of time, and you start noticing a lot of drama, a lot of problems, a lot of gossip. It's like maybe you always get kicked out of a place with this person, or maybe they just always have some shit going. Maybe they're not the most stable. Maybe they don't ever, maybe they don't necessarily have your best interest at heart. Maybe their choices don't necessarily reflect as to whether or not they have another person with them, right? So let's say like we're together and we're having fun, and then they decide to pickpocket something. I'm just general example, but that could get us both in trouble just because guilty by association. So, and those are extreme kind of examples, but there does seem to be a situation here where you start surrounding yourself with people that are not necessarily good for you, in situations that are not necessarily in your best interest. But I don't feel as though you intend to stay there. I feel like this is a coping mechanism for the time being, just to blow off some steam and get to the next day. Okay, let's do the Four of Swords. You've got the World, okay? Regeneration, which is exactly what the Four of Swords is. Like I said, so the advice is to rest and allow yourself to be restored. Now, some people's defense mechanism is to go, 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 go. They never stop, because once they stop, they start to think. They start to dive into the real problems. They have no choice but to eventually contemplate on what's really going on and face the mirror that is themselves. Okay, and so some people's defense mechanism and way to get over things is to stay busy, 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 always on the go. This is excessive exercise, excessive partying, taking on, part-time jobs, literally anything that will fill your day so that you never have a moment's peace. And for many of you, I'm getting that sort of a situation here. And Spirit is telling you that is going to run its course as well. And if you're not careful, those sort of things can really take a toll on your health, okay? So make sure you're getting the rest that you need. Make sure that you're getting the rejuvenation that you need. And for some of you, this is also a very real message of sitting down and getting some things in order, documentation-wise, getting a plan of action together, because there is some consideration to be had when it comes to actual relocation. Okay, now this could be, for some of you, this is relocating jobs. For others of you, this is actually your home, your living quarters. Okay, so let's go to the Three of Pentacles. Seven of Cups. I don't feel, Cancer, and I almost said Sagittarius, I don't feel as though you think you have anybody worth it in your circus. I meant to say circle, but it came out circus. Yeah, I can see that. Anyways, Five of Swords, conflict with the Death card. Look, I don't feel like you have, you feel as though you have anybody concrete within your circle. Okay, I don't feel like it's like you trust. I feel like you could be surrounded with 100 people. At any given moment, there could be 20 people on your line willing to take you out, take you dancing, meet up with you here, stay the night at your house, whatever. But can you trust these people? I don't feel like it. Can you call on these people? I don't feel like it. Not for anything serious. You may be able to call up this person and say, hey, meet me for dinner over here, with them expecting something in return, or hey, let's go party over here with them, kind of, but like, could you really call them up and say like, yo, I need a place to stay for like a week, or I need $1,000 or I'm going to be out on my ass, or, I need $3,000 for this, or, I'm going to go to jail, or even to bail you out. Like, it's that sort of thing. Like I don't feel like you feel you have anybody that's really worth it in your circle. And given this energy, I would have to say you're probably right. Or, again, this could be, if this is reversed, it could definitely be reversed. Somebody could be feeling this way about Cancer. But we're reading from perspective of Cancer. Now, I do feel like you have had some conflict with people outside of you, and have had, let's say, like a theoretical death to some relationships on problems that weren't actually there. Now, whether that's they made up problems or you made up problems, or it was a miscommunication or a misconception, who knows? But I am seeing that there was conflict and an end to one, if not more, relationships that were the result of made up problems, if that makes sense. You get this Justice card again. Okay, so your hope is that everything just comes out balanced, truth, raw, real communication, no matter what that, how it comes about. It's like, it's just time. Like, I just want things to work out. I just want to be able to be myself and other people to be their self, and that be respected in truth and in justice, right? Okay, and then you've got the Lovers in reverse. It did come out in reverse, but I'm not reading reversals in this particular deck today, but you got the Page of Wands with the Lovers. So I do see, once again, like I said, I do see progress and a higher form of potential being met, not just potential, because potential, I mean, it's honestly just an idea, right, until it goes into action. But this is potential being met with the choices that you are making in your overall long-term possible outcome. I'd like to get one more here, please, for the Page of Wands and the Lovers. And it is another card of balance, okay, the Hanged Man in limbo. Okay, so you do have some serious and hard-hitting choices coming up that are going to involve a lot more than I think you potentially, again, had considered. Okay, now under here you've got drama, boredom with the Four of Cups, Knight of Swords, and the Seven of Swords, loss. Okay, so be very, very careful. Once again, I think you are fully aware of the people that you have currently around you not being very trustworthy, not being very good people to be around. And I would even argue to say this is why a lot of people that are stand-up people have taken steps back in your life, because they see you surrounding yourself with people that they don't want to be associated with, and quite frankly, they don't want you associating with. Because there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of toxicity. We've got devil energy out here, we've got thief in the night energy out here, we've got lies, we've got deception, we've got gossip, we've got whoa. However, it's a thing, it's life, choices, and the ones that really love you, what do they say? Those that matter don't care, and those that don't care what is it? Those that matter won't care, and those that care don't matter. There you go. That's what I have for you, Cancer. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time.